Thank you. Thank you to our Honorable Minister, uh, Rajiv Chandrasekhar ji, for announcing this is an immense honor. I am humbled by this responsibility. I apologize for not being there. As you can see from my thing, I'm not keeping well. So I've not been able to travel for some time now. And I'm recovering. So I will do my best in this. I am very passionate about our technology self-reliance as a nation. We, as uh, our other speakers pointed out here, we produce 25% of all of the engineers in the world. And our population base, our talent pool, our youthful demographics, all of it dictate that we must be a number one nation in every field of human effort. And it's very possible. And if you look at our own uh, Indian origin people's achievements in America and other countries, it tells you how much we can do in India, how much talent we have. And the immense amount of talent is visible now worldwide with so many global companies now holding handing the reins over to India born, India educated CEOs. And that's actually a testimonial to our system of education too. We often think we are doing something bad, but it is people who are educated in India who are now leading these companies around the world. And that's something that we can take pride in. And what we can do, translate this into technological leadership at home. And what it means in practice also is make sure the intellectual property for uh, all of the work we do stays in India. That is a very critical priority because today in India, a lot of very leading edge work is done, but the intellectual property rights are transferred elsewhere. The ownership is kept elsewhere. So this is actually important something for our nation to get the IP rights for the work we do here. So we are not asking for other people's IP, but the work that is done in Indian soil under our laws should be registered as IP ownership in India. That's a very vital thing for us to do. Along with it, we must encourage the capability in our industry, across all sectors of industry, to own the critical production know-how. This is important in all manner of manufacturing. It's important for, of course, semiconductors. It's important for medical devices and aerospace, defense, robotics, in every field, and biotechnology, advanced medicines, in every field. We must have a conscious program to catch up to the leading edge in the world and exceed it. We can exceed it. This is something that my own company we have experience doing, and I'm very happy to announce that we have now reached just this March 31 year. We have crossed a very important milestone. We'll be making an announcement, and we're growing very strongly globally, and our products are now succeeding very brilliantly across the globe. And I get mails from Indian engineers abroad saying, I'm so proud to see an Indian company succeeding in these markets. And hundred such companies, 1,000 such companies are possible from India. That is our talent pool. We have scratched the surface with ZOHO. And 1,000 such companies are possible. And I want to take as inspiration a country like Japan, where from electronics to shipbuilding to material science to you name it, robotics, they are really leading edge companies. And in spite of struggling with very poor demographics, Japan still leads the world. And we actually have the talent pool in our nation to create all those technologies and where necessary also acquire technologies and improve them. All of that we have the expertise to do. And we must explicitly set it as our national mission. And that is why I'm so excited about this initiative, Bharat Tech Foundation. It's a very important initiative, and I pledge my own wholehearted commitment and support to this. I'm doing this, I'm traveling whenever time permits, I'm traveling all over and meeting industry, meeting colleges, and spreading this word. And my one concrete suggestion to our Honorable Minister is we must institute an award, I called it the Vishwakarma Award, for engineers who build technology. It's not for businessmen, it's not for people like me, it is for engineers who build technology across all sectors. We must specially recognize them because these engineering awards, and these should be national awards, it should be as prestigious as our Padma Shri, all of those awards, so that there is a mission and that our engineers feel empowered that we will be recognized, we are important to this nation building. Because the principle of task of nation building today is engineering. And that's true even in agriculture. I live in a village here. Even in agriculture, we need technology. We need sophisticated technology from drones to water treatments, all of these to be able to grow good quality food at affordable prices for our vast population. So technology is everywhere and it is an engineering problem. We have the brains to solve it. We must create encouragement and the environment. And as a private sector person, I also, the one critical priority is we must secure our markets for our own industry first. This is what other Asian nations did. I always recommend this book, How Asia Works. From Japan to South Korea to Taiwan to China, they all imposed initially restrictions so that the private sector can compete on a level playing field. That's very important for our nation. And where we did wrong in the 60s and 70s is we made this all into public sector rather than encouraging our private sector to do this. The private sector can get the job done. In fact, I recently purchased a Tata Nexon EV. I'm really proud of this made in India car. It's an outstanding vehicle. I actually have praised this to Mr. Chandrasekhar and I tweeted about this. I actually love driving this car. It's an outstanding achievement by an Indian company to see. Many such things, 1,000 such examples can emerge. But one thing that I would request the government to consider is progressively make sure that the playing field is level for Make in India products and aggressively push the Make in India vision so that tariffs, all of that policy should be aligned, industrial policy should be assigned. We should not be ashamed to use the word industrial policy, which in American liberalism that is a prohibited word. We should have a specific industrial policy to make sure all of the know-how is in India. And in today's world, it's very obvious why that is necessary, from whether payment technology to all of it, banking interconnections, all of these technologies we must own. And here again, the UPI gives a shining example of what Indians can achieve. And this is very possible across all our spectrum of industry. And I pledge my own cooperation. I have a personal mission right now on capital goods right now, the goods that go into factories. I'm actually taking this up. I'm investing our own money and creating a capital goods mission right now to accelerate our capital goods. Because I visited a lot of factories in the Coimbatore region. I realized that capital goods are a major point of dependence for us as a nation, and we have to solve this. So I've taken this up as a cause. In a similar way, I'm also studying the lower end of the semiconductor sector where there are easy entry points for us to get in because we need to get the first step on the ladder. Once we get on that first step on the ladder, they can make the climb. So even a 180 nanometer fab would be good because many, as our minister very well knows, many of the lower end chips are still viably made in those fabs. So we have to acquire that type of thing first in the private sector and then scale up. So these are the initiatives that I'm personally working on, particularly the capital goods right now. And in a similar way, from electric vehicles to medical instruments, we have a very strong uh, program in medical instruments. And we are now building about six different class of medical equipment right now. And I'm investing in R&D on the massive scale. All of these, the talent has to be nurtured. This is where our mission comes in. And I see the talent nurturing as principally as getting our youth excited, working on these problems, the hackathons, all of it. Because the talent is there, they're waiting for an opportunity. And small amounts of funding, maybe 3 lakhs, 5 lakhs kind of funding for a project can actually unearth talent that is hiding somewhere. And that's what we do with ZOHO. We are doing this on a fairly large scale now. Hundreds of youngsters are now getting trained in our various, we call it talent boot camps. And then once they prove their thing, we absorb them as employees. This can be actually paid massive scale around our nation. This can spark an engineering technology revolution. That is absolutely what we need as a nation. And once we achieve that self-reliance, our standing in the world will soar. And again, this is a part I make because as a member of NSAB, I often tweet about these topics. I find it very offensive that other nations attempt to lecture us on these topics, on what decisions we make. Only technological self-reliance will save us from this having to listen to their lectures. This is something that I often mention, that we need to be strong on our own so that others don't lecture us, attempt to coerce us into some action. And so that we reserve our independent course of action. It's very important that our technologies are fully self-reliant. That's what I'm working towards, and I'm very happy to be foundation, and I'll do my best. And thank you very much.